This video is the first in a series in which we are going to answer the question, what are the Targums? So let's start with a definition. The Targums are Aramaic translations, usually in the form of an expanded paraphrase, of various books or sections of the Hebrew Old Testament. So Aramaic versus Hebrew. Aramaic and Hebrew are sister languages in the Northwest Semitic group of languages. Both are biblical languages, Daniel 2:4b through 7:28, Ezra 4:8 through 6:18, and 7:12 through 26, as well as several other words and verses in the Old Testament, are in Aramaic. The two languages are similar, but not mutually comprehensible, as demonstrated by 2 Kings 18:26, which reads, Then Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, and Shebna and Joah said to the field commander, Please speak to your servants in Aramaic, since we understand it. Don't speak to us in Hebrew in the hearing of the people on the wall. So we see here that the people who spoke Hebrew were not trained in Aramaic and therefore could not understand Aramaic. So question, why the Targums? There are two theories. Theory number one, Hebrew was no longer spoken, necessitating a translation in the vernacular of the people, or Aramaic. Theory number two, the biblical text was read in Hebrew, and the Targum was the commentary on the text, and was given in Aramaic to differentiate or set it off from the sacred text. So thus you would have the biblical text read in Hebrew, and the Targum would be in Aramaic, so there would be no confusion as to where the biblical text ended and the commentary began, and I would say that probably there is truth in both of these theories. So in this series we are going to take examples from the Targums, and the first example in this video is Genesis 1:1 from Targum Neofiti. Genesis 1:1 reads in Hebrew, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And this is rendered into Aramaic in Targum Neofiti as Milkadmim b'chachma barad Yahweh shachlel yat shemiyah ve'yat ara'ah. In or from the beginning, with wisdom, the Son of Yahweh completed the heavens and the earth. So this Targum contains two expansions. First, we have with wisdom. So where is this coming from? It comes from other passages of Scripture. For example, in Jeremiah 10:12 and 51:15, we read, But God made the earth by his power. He founded the world by his wisdom and stretched out the heavens by his understanding. And in Psalm 104:24a, O Lord, how many are your works? In wisdom you have made them all. And the second expansion, the Son of Yahweh instead of God. Now this is a very interesting little change, because in Hebrew, bara means he created, but in Aramaic it can mean either he created or the Son. So the Targum has thus used a wordplay and taken it as the Son and added of Yahweh. Now that the Son of Yahweh, the Lord, is the Creator, is found in Scripture. We read, But of the Son he says, You, Lord, laid the foundation of the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. And you can confer Hebrews chapter 1, verses Oh, that's Hebrews chapter 1, verses 8 through 10. You can confer John chapter 1, verse 3 and verse 10, Colossians 1:16, 1 Corinthians 8:6, and Hebrews 1:2. So, summary and conclusion. The Targums frequently expand passages of Scripture to include concepts found in related passages of Scripture. The Targums use wordplay when translating Hebrew into Aramaic. And the Targums frequently contain ideas found in the New Testament, such as the Son, Jesus Christ, as creator. And that third point is really what makes them so interesting, the Targums, because what you find there is the mindset and the theology and the doctrines of Judaism prior to the Christian era. These Targums contain, now they were oral Targums, which were later written down, but they contain the theology and the thoughts of Judaism prior to the Christian era and prior to the huge change that occurred in Judaism after the temple was destroyed and after Jesus Christ came onto the scene. Judaism made a huge change then, and these Targums contain the theology and the doctrines and the thoughts that existed in Judaism prior to this change. Thank you.